Just to remind everybody that language usage and content that we provide here may be disturbing, disgusting, probably will be and should be. Words like bloody custard and words that rhyme with that may be featured. Actually will be featured. In fact, perhaps will only be featured. Just warning you. On this episode of Cyrus Says, we'll do something never done before. Drinking water. Also, a very important issue, the DP project or development project for Mumbai, which will leave us finished, will be buried alive. Please pay attention. It's not a joke. We will be buried alive. Alright, so whatever you do, pay attention to that part of the program. Also, we'll take some questions. We'll look at some other rants and raves we need to look into. And the beautiful Chhavi joins us wearing some outlandish outfit.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Brought to us by Gourmet It Up, partners with the best restaurants in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore and Pune. TheIndianBean.com. Coffee for everyone. Also, please let us know what you think of the show. You can email us on whatcyrussays@gmail.com. Yes, I got it. I can't take it anymore. I'm feeling a lot of pain inside. I've decided suicide is an option, but I don't want to die in a polluted city, so I have to go somewhere else. But I cannot take the bikers, and I want everybody who's going through biker hell to listen to what I'm saying. Bikers have taken over our city. Okay, between rickshaws in the suburbs and bikers here, they break all the laws. They come up the one ways. They run over my foot. The other day, my poor daughter, who's only 8 years old and looks 7, was trying to cross from the bus stop, and a bike just ran over her foot because the guys just go wherever they want to. There's no law applicable to bikers anymore. So I want a special biker day where all of us can pick up a biker who's on a motorbike, pull him off his bike and stamp on his head for half an hour. Alright? Please, all those who want to accept this as a part of our, holiday structure, along with the lovely holidays such as Diwali, Christmas, Parsi New Year, Gudi Padwa, etc. Let's have a motorcycle day. We catch the motorcyclist, we throw him down and we all stamp on his head until he says, I will follow the law. Alright? I don't want to mention this again because it's a small issue for some people, but if you've ever felt the pain of a biker going through a one-way, coming close to you, hitting your side mirror, hitting your child, hitting your mother-in-law, okay, that is okay. But the others I mentioned before, remember, let's stand together, Mumbai and India, and fight the biker menace. Because there's no bike minister as far as I'm told. Is there? They're working on it. But he has to wear a helmet. So which minister's going to wear a helmet? Come on.
Cyrus says, now is not the time for a bathroom break.
Hello people, we now have our Android app available. You can download it from the Google Play Store. If you don't know where Google Play Store is, look out of your window, you'll see it. Also, lots of other stuff coming soon, other apps which we'll talk about a little later. Also listen to Cyrus Says on services like iTunes, SoundCloud, TuneIn and Stitcher. Also on your favorite podcast client, just launch the app and search for Cyrus Says. Repeat, Cyrus Says. To keep up to date with our latest episodes, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter or sign up for our newsletter from our website cyrussays.in. Now let me dig my nose in peace, please.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Yes, it's called Cyrus Says, and as usual, I'm the only jubilant person when I announce that. Cyrus Says, yay, jai to me. Speaking of jai, first I want to just quickly say, Chhavi, welcome to the show. Why are you wearing a sari?
Because I want to.
No, don't wear saris. It's terrible. Saris should be banned.
Why?
It's too hot. I look at it and I'm sweating. Don't wear a sari. Are you getting married? Tell the truth.
No.
Be honest. Your personal life is open now for the public.
How sexist is this? So I'm supposed to get...
Well, if I wore a sari, it would be okay. Talk about gender equality.
Oh, only because I'm going to get married, you want me to wear a sari?
It's early morning. What the hell are you doing in a sari?
So many women wear a sari every day.
You will be sari. That's what's going to happen here.
You're going to be sorry for making fun of my sari.
It's really making me feel hot. Is there no option?
It's not hot.
You want to wear my shorts?
It's nice. A, we're in AC. B, it's a nice cloudy day.
Yeah, you didn't get that? My shorts? You don't want to wear my shorts? Somebody should wear my shorts. They're just hanging there. Because I wear nothing. Just to get the feel of this show, I like to be as naked as possible. Because ours is all the naked truth, isn't that, Chhavi? She's left the studio. She's changing her clothes. She's wearing metal armor from medieval England. She's coming back as a knight with a helmet. Which reminds me, I hate bikers. I hate those bikers. I want to kill bikers. I want to strangle a biker. And firstly, they don't... the police! They break the one-ways early morning. I live in Malba Hill and they're coming up this Dungarwadi slope. The police inspector at 8:30 in the morning on his bike, right in the middle of the road, and I tell him, what are you doing? One-way hai. And he just nods at me like, well done. Like, thanks for the information.
Does he have a helmet on? No.
No!
Of course not.
Nobody has a helmet on except cricketers. Nobody else wears helmets in India, I'm telling you.
No, so yesterday we saw this man who had a helmet. It was sitting in front of him on the dash or whatever that thing
Like
is.
a rather large...
Yes.
in front of his belly.
Yes.
Whatever I was insinuating is not important because you're wearing a sari and that kills it for me. Anyway, coming back to...
That is so horrible. No, let's discuss this.
No. Let's get back to my guy with the helmet on his...
We're coming back to the
He
sari.
was covering the fuel tank with the helmet and he was on his bike. And did you stop him and say, pray, kind sir, why do you have a helmet in your groin area?
No, he was ahead of me.
Oh.
I have stopped a cop once and said, why are you not wearing a helmet? And he got really pissed off with me
Yeah,
and then
what did he
zoomed
say?
off. Nothing.
Quickly, in Marathi, 2 minutes, your time. Go for it,
He
Chhavi.
didn't
What did he
say
say?
anything. He
He
accelerated.
just got angry. He made faces like
He
that.
snarled at me. If he had pan in his mouth, he would have spitted at me.
Spitted no spat.
Spat at
I have
me.
no respect for you. Sorry and bad language.
Spit is the past participle of spit.
Okay, I'll take it back. Spit on me now. Come on. Let's get back to this guy. So you screamed at him and they get
I
very
didn't scream at
defensive.
him. He's a bloody cop. I said,
Bloody cop? How dare you say that? It's
I
cop
said,
bloody.
excuse me, sir, आपने helmet क्यों नहीं पहनी है?
And what did he say?
And he
देखिए
gave me a
मैडम
dirty
हिंदी
look.
नहीं आती है. No, so come on. But jokes apart, I mean, if they don't listen, why should we listen?
Totally.
1, 2, why do they not follow laws? They go on the pavements. Have you seen the bikes on the pavements? I don't get that. I mean, I'm walking with my mother who's now almost 100. I'm walking on the pavement and then the bike just comes in the middle and we part to let the bike go. I'm like, what happened to our city? There are bikes on the pavement. What next? Bikes will be riding up walls? I mean, where's it going to end? So no, jokes apart, we've got to do something with the bikers. We have to do something about
Well,
them.
let me tell you my pet peeve about bikers.
Go ahead.
Their horns are calibrated to be at this
Now what do you mean? No
ear
double
splitting.
meaning. What the hell are you trying to say?
Their
They're
no
horns.
double
Okay,
meaning.
I'm
The
sorry.
peep peep business.
Yeah, the peep peep. That's terrible.
And it's calibrated to be at this funny decibel level
Yeah, it's
and
no
this
Zubin
funny
Mehta
tone.
performing with the Philharmonic. No way.
Awful. It cuts through everything else and I want to usually slap them.
And don't you get a heart attack because you're suddenly walking and 1 inch behind you, beep! It's like that. See, now, you see the reaction you got right there? And you saw me doing the peep.
Yeah.
I'll replay it in slow motion.
No.
Beep! You know, did you feel it less now? But you
Yes,
got the
thank
whole
you.
idea of what I'm trying to convey here.
Experience it every day in traffic.
Yeah, but listen, I know I used to ride a bike for about 12 minutes. Then I fell on a nun in Sophia College. And my mother is Catholic and she said, no more. You cannot. If you fell on a nun, that means you can't ride a bike. The other thing about Indians is we always have this superstition. You do anything and then religion will play its part. So it was lovely. So after I fell on the nun, who by the way was walking in the wrong direction, I was in the right direction. But these things happen. I
Walking
apologize
in
to
the wrong
her.
direction?
Well, she was walking on the road. Across the road.
But
You know
there were
what I mean?
bikers on the pavement. Where
Yes, but at that time the bike was on the road. I'm always in the right. Don't you know that says on the show? I'm always on the right, so is the country. Stop it. Let's move on from bikers to more important and interesting things. You had set up a few interesting things. Ambedkar Jayanti, what an important festival. Now, I'm a big fan of Ambedkar. I've read his biography. I think his whole idea about just, sort of take yourself from wherever you are and push yourself up in a positive way, which was his message, and not about idolatry and processions and performances and events. What is happening to our country? The religiosity is out of control.
It
Now,
really is.
you live in Shivaji Park, where millions of people come and use the park as ablution stan early morning. Trucks and buses. Picture this. Millions of people, humanity relieves themselves from 5:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the morning, and tell us what you go through in 15 seconds or less.
Less.
That's
Okay,
all the
so
time,
for 3
yeah.
days in the year, which is December 6th is his anniversary.
Right.
From the 5th, 6th
No,
to...
that's the death anniversary, right.
anniversary. So 5th, 6th, 7th of December, it's impossible to travel past Shivaji Park. You have to take the sea link
And
even if
keep in
you
mind,
live at Shivaji.
10% will have bad stomachs. We are Indians. We eat all kinds of chutneys.
They're eating free khana being given out
Absolutely.
in these
Very
pails.
oily, very bad for the digestion. Yeah, go ahead.
And they have like 4 porta potties. So obviously they're using Shivaji Park and the beach.
Yeah, communal toilets is our thing in a sense. Common toilets rather, not communal toilets. Common toilets is our thing. I mean, when it comes to Indians and sharing, we discussed that the other time.
Yeah.
So this is just, honestly, this is just something that I don't know what to do.
It's
We
in
don't
the
want to offend
toilet.
anyone. Like I
No.
said, I'm an Ambedkar fan, but something is wrong with the way we celebrate greatness in
On
this
the way
country.
here, we passed maybe 15... So we're recording in Famous Studio.
That's right.
And I had
I'm
to
glad
cross...
you noticed. Go ahead.
I'm telling the people who are listening.
Fair enough. Don't let me interrupt you. Go on.
Really?
Yes.
I
I never
shouldn't
want to
let you
speak
interrupt
ever
me.
again. I want to just fight my bikers. Go on.
Sorry.
So
So on the way
on your
here,
way, yeah.
we passed maybe 15 pandals, and it didn't click until the last one that this disco music that was blaring was for Ambedkar, who was just this respectful, really
And
modest.
you're not saying that out of fear. You also believe that the man did something for the country.
He was fantastic.
Constitution of India.
Absolutely, right here
Raised
in
himself from
Kalagoda.
nothing and was well loved in America. They understood him first before, as usual, with many famous people. Can I just say one thing? If I become very great before I die or after I die, Chhavi, you'll outlive me for sure because you're wearing saris, so nothing happens to people like that. I want to just say, please make sure that there are no processions. I don't want a separate day for myself. I don't even want an hour for myself. I don't want millions of people to come and, use toilets all over and cause traffic jams. So please, for me, when it's like Cyrus Jayanti, I want you all to celebrate it in peaceful ways by drinking beer at home and maybe scratching.
I was thinking we could bash some motorcyclists for you in your honor.
That should be a separate 3 days a year at least. Bash your motorcycle day. Fair enough. And if he's got a helmet in between his legs, you pick it up and bang his head with it.
Can I just put the caveat in? If the guy is following the rules, not beeping and is also wearing a helmet, can he be exempt from the bashing?
If he follows the rules on the right side of the road, is not arrogant, doesn't peep in front of you, wears his helmet, I have no problem with him.
Okay.
But this guy doesn't exist. In the Prince of Wales Museum, there's one such biker and they've put him there. He's dead now and you can go and look at him. It doesn't exist. It's gone. Bikers have become anarchic and they do what they want. They're destroying our city. They are one of the 4 bad forces of our city, along with people and animals with horns and above all, more people. That's all I want to say about this topic. Let's move on to topic number 39B, which is questions from disgruntled listeners.
We'll get back to that right after the break. Cyrus says ad breaks are beneficial to your mental health.
Okay, we're just going into a quick word here on
Wow Tables.
Wow Tables.
Formerly known as Gourmet Up.
Yes, now called Wow
new
Tables.
Reincarnation. So you can use it to book tables at many, many restaurants all over Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi and Pune.
There you go.
And you can also use these curated menus that they come up with. Well, their website is now wowtables.com. And if you book through us and use the gift card that says Cyrus Says, you get $500 off your first reservation. Wow.
What is the thing you have to say?
Cyrus Says.
Sorry, again?
Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Okay, what I'm about to speak about or talk about is, please come closer to whatever medium you're listening to this on, because what I'm about to say, I can't say loudly. I'm scared. It's a terrible, horrific, tragic, disgusting, and perhaps something uncontrollable, a behemoth, a huge beast-like monster which is descending upon us called the DP. Now, I'm going to explain that a little more in detail in a few seconds, but first, it's about a development project for Mumbai, which is supposed to see light by 2034, ladies and gentlemen, by which time most of you will be dead, would have changed gender, or had 4 children who you hate. So remember, this is something which is in the future, and we know from our political performances in the past and bureaucratic performances in the past, that when they give you a date for execution of anything in our lovely country, it's always 87 years later. Independence was supposed to come in 1902. It reached us in 47. Some say it hasn't reached us yet. Those people may be right. My point is very clear. We are in trouble when people start thinking about things which are beyond their capacity. It's like me talking about hair care. Don't do things you can't do. So I'm going to introduce 2 very important ladies who are sitting and screaming against the tide here, fighting passionately. And may I just say, first, hats off to them because, they've decided somebody has to put an end to all this. We live in a city where we need to take charge. Unfortunately, democracy has not come to India yet. We're expecting it by 2064, 100 years after the Beatles, which is luckily has come to India, so we'll survive with them for now. But these 2 lovely ladies, Naina and Meher, are going to tell us all about this DP, why it's a behemoth which is going to kill us all, and why we have to strike back Mumbai and reclaim our open spaces, land, and let our young people play in peace, and of course urinate in public when no one is watching. So here we have them. Naina and Meher, please introduce yourselves first.
Yeah, hi, I'm Naina. I'm a trustee of an NGO Nagar, which has been...
How much money do you earn, Naina? How much money are you worth?
We have volunteers.
We've got very shallow listeners. Volunteers is not enough. You're a millionaire. Tell the truth. I saw you come in a BMW 7 Series. You had 2 drivers sitting on each other's laps to encourage that kind of thing. But go on. Let me not interrupt you.
Yeah. We run an NGO, Meher and I and other trustees, called Nagar, which started in year 2000.
Meher is Parsi, and Nagar would be a difficult word for her, but she grew up in Delhi. Am I right?
Grew up in
Which
Delhi.
is a Nagar. Still remains a Nagar. No improvement. I've been there. Go on. Tell us more.
So, Nagar goes for advocacy, governance and renewal. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do.
I didn't get that in the name though. Advocacy for N for what?
No, actually,
no advocacy.
Actually, Nagar was an acronym which we decided to drop The
Wait, you're confusing our listener. We have 3 people listening. You cannot confuse them. No dropping anything. Nagar is it.
It's Nagar.
It's Nagar.
It's Nagar. So now let's talk about the DP.
Yes.
Now,
the DP.
As you rightly said, the development
Wait, we
plan.
didn't hear about Meher. Who's Meher? Where's she from? Is there a Meher? Let's hear your voice. Meher, give me G. Okay, go ahead.
I'm a trustee of Nagar. I'm Meher. I'm a trustee of Nagar, as Naina said. And we are basically a civic-based NGO which fights for the rights of Mumbai and the citizens of Mumbai.
And mostly because Mumbai citizens have no idea what their rights are and they have no idea what's coming on top of them.
Unfortunately they don't.
They really
Unfortunately
don't. I
they
didn't
don't.
know.
So a lot of it is not just fighting for your rights, but being aware of what your rights are. And then, of course, coming out and fighting as hard as you can. And if you have someone like Cyrus in your corner, you're blessed.
Corner
we are
I'm a little
pretty
rotund for
home and
corners.
dry.
I'm
Yes.
on the middle right now. No corner in this physique. But coming back, first let me apologize when I said I didn't know. It's not like I am the civic spokesperson of the world, but it's true and sad that we've not been able to promote the fact that there is this impending project and all cultures, languages and all kinds of mediums. It's not been pushed. And more importantly, that they expect us to have a new Mumbai in 2034. Very briefly, please let's enlighten our lovely 4 listeners. 2 of them are underage and speak to them in very basic English like, hello, Baba, how are you? That kind of thing. And just explain to them very quickly it's huge. 1,000, 2,000 pages? What is this whole DP thing?
It's 500 pages.
500 pages. I lied just to exaggerate and create
such technical detail that people like us who worked in the field for since 2000
without ever going home.
Still find it difficult and have to go over and over again to really get to the beat of it. And the government, that's the MCGM, expects us, the citizens, to respond in 60 days.
And what about the errors, Naina?
Yeah, I'm just coming to that.
500 pages with no grammatical mistakes, is it?
Not
one comma.
Lots of grammatical and typos, of course.
Yeah.
But the biggest bloopers in it are things like the Prince of Wales Museum, otherwise known as Chhatrapati Shivaji Vastu Sangrahalaya.
Can you just repeat that?
Chhatrapati.
No, the Prince of Wales thing.
Prince of Wales Museum
right.
has been called a medical facility on the map of the DP.
There are corpses. If you tour the museum, you see dead people, dead animals,
and
sometimes dead people watching.
And the Jahangir Art Gallery is a veterinary hospital.
Okay.
And
not a very common name for a canine, Jahangir, but what the hell?
And then all the Agyaris, Cyrus, have been completely deleted off the face of the DP.
There can be no India without Agyaris.
Correct.
No, I think they're awaiting the deletion of the park.
Oh, the extinction of the species. The 2034 is the correct date. I'm told, Mayor, off the record, we expect to be extinct by 2033, November 15th. Damn that Zubin if he pulls through to 34 and kills everything.
And the final, of course, the Haji Ali Dargah, which is such an iconic site, is missing.
And perhaps the best place for you to travel because you don't move for 1 hour once you hit that area. Yeah. But that's another story for another day. Yeah?
If you are looking at a serious document, supposedly serious document, which has so many bloomers, you begin to wonder what else does it have.
But Naina, the point here is who's come up with this? I mean, firstly, this sounds very far-fetched for people living in the city to expect that a veterinary college is where an art, a hallowed art institution was. And, open fields, which we'll come to in a second, are also being deleted. Buildings are being built. Whose ideas are these? First, let's look at that. Who's come up with this? Because we have no idea who runs things in this city. I know my watchman Vijay runs our building, for example. But who runs things?
It's the MCGM.
MC, how dare you use such words like that? How dare you, Naina? We don't draw the line. We're not America. We don't use bad words. MC standing for what exactly? Be clear.
Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai.
No cousin of BC.
No.
Damn,
Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai is the drafter of this plan together with consultants. One consultant is a foreign consultant from France.
Wow.
And another consultant is
who Googled Mumbai and said, yeah, this is it. Like a chess pieces. I'll move Churchgate to Bhayandar. I'll take Neral and I'll push it straight into Azad Maidan. And let's have 40,000 buildings right here at Oval.
That's it. So a lot of it's rubbish in and rubbish out, the whole thing.
I have suspected the French for the last 40 years. We keep attacking Pakistan. I'm telling you, they are the bad people. They're destroying our culture. They eat snails and they call them different names to fool you. What kind of people eat frog legs? This is wrong. But again, let's stick to what we're talking about.
Over and above the bloomers, the standards they brought down of everything in Bombay.
Okay, none of this bloomers is throwing me. Do you mean bloopers? Because bloomers is about young kids who are another generation.
Bloopers, errors to be more correct.
Fair enough,
without being,
I sit corrected.
Yeah.
So the bloopers are how many? Just percentage wise. Almost half of it is not making sense?
over a...
No,
how many
a
would
lot
they
of
be
the
ahead?
designations. Basically the designations. The errors are the most minor part of it.
Yes.
They are in the designations. What we're more worried about, very much more worried about, are the fundamental flaws in the concepts. Errors are easy to rectify. These flaws will require a lot of application of mind. And among them are the fact that the open spaces are totally neglected. In fact, there seems to be an adverse policy regarding open spaces.
Hold that thought for a second. Let me explain. Open spaces do exist in Mumbai. Many people don't know about them, but we have 2.5 gardens left at the moment, and they actually have sky that you can look at, and there are people who can actually play. Because many people don't know that this actually exists in Mumbai.
Well,
Sorry,
these
go
are
on.
not just gardens. You have playgrounds for the children, recreation grounds where the elderly can come and sit and recreate. You have parks, gardens, something to give you
Lovely
visual
open spaces
vistas.
where the RSS can hold march past, for example, early morning, which is very important. Then,
Well, each to their own.
Yeah.
But where
NCC.
you find that the central urban development standards is 10 to 12 square meters of open space per person. And the National Building Code has a much lower standard of 3 square meters per person. Mumbai has, and hold your breath, a paltry 1.09 square meters per person. And under the new DP, it is to be depleted further because the rationale behind this is, since policies to save these spaces were not implemented for the last 20 years, let's eschew the policies and just de-reserve all the spaces that are meant for you and me, all the citizens to recreate in, Cyrus.
2 questions. One, can I now breathe again? Because you said hold your breath and you didn't say to breathe. And more importantly, in English again. So right now, as we stand, how much per person are we talking in meters?
Right
Less than
now,
1 meter, am I right?
1.09.
1.09
But
meter.
if all the policies in the new DP are implemented, Cyrus, you won't even have half that.
Okay, so basically from Bollywood standards, only Amir Khan, who's like 5'4", would fit in this area.
Absolutely.
At the moment. We'll really struggle with artists like myself or the younger
And
advanced
this is not the only place where they've dumbed down the standards.
Naina, before, just clarify again. So why did they come up with? So no one's thinking logically. They're just looking at it from a
it's not
mathematical
only
equation.
not
and-
thinking logically, but Cyrus, to add insult to injury, they also say that the spaces will not come down because in actual fact there are other spaces which will be added.
Where?
And which are these other spaces? Dungarwadi,
What are you
Navy
saying?
Nagar,
Why not?
Dungarwadi.
It's all anti-Parsi for some reason. Agyari is gone, Dungarwadi is gone. I mean, there are 12 Parsis left. Let us live in peace and die in peace. They're just gonna
Navy
kill us.
Nagar, the governor's bungalow, they are trying to be secular about it.
The governor's bungalow,
But
yeah.
all these restricted private held areas are now going to be generously handed over for
What
the city
rubbish.
to recreate.
You expect the
in.
So
governor's bungalow
basically,
to be handed over to the
Cyrus,
city?
what they're doing by
One
this...
second, let's ask the audience to raise their hands. Raise your hands if you expect the governor's bungalow to... They actually... Did you know this is the quality of the audience? This is what we get when people like me come on air. Go on.
What I'm saying, to just continue with this, they are manipulating the figures to arrive at that 2 per square meter per person by bringing in these non-accessible open
Privately
spaces.
held.
And privately held.
space.
Let's just get this straight. They've just decided we'll make up spaces.
Correct.
We'll put together a max figure here and clear 2 meters per person.
somehow,
And that's
yes.
your problem after that.
Yes.
And again, remember 2034, which is not a realistic target, is it?
No. Well,
2034 for all this to be implemented?
no. 2034 is the year till which these policies will be in effect.
Oh.
The repercussion of these policies would go on for a couple of decades
Post
after that.
Or maybe more, yeah.
The earlier DPs for 20-year periods,
Right.
only 2 or 3% of the DP has been realized even in the past. So there is no guarantee that this DP will be realized.
Okay.
So it'll just get worse and worse and worse.
So
If the
sorry.
logic in this DP is carried to its logical conclusion,
Mm-hmm.
then it means that if you cannot implement the law, then do not say that it is not a crime. Imagine that in our private lives.
Yeah, and so
If
what
you
you're
cannot-
saying is, at the moment, Sana'a in Yemen will be a better place to live in. As of
Well-
now. Because they've dug up everything, broken everything, there's no open spaces, and they've created spaces in their mind. There are spaces in their mind that we figured out, and we can say that fairly on this medium because we have no legal issues. No, I'm lying. If there are legal issues, let me just clarify, it'll be you two held responsible. Because I broadcast from Switzerland, neutral country, we're all safe here. And we have lots of open spaces, just no people. Send us 5.
Cyrus, the other very important thing in this DP, which is missing, is 60% of the area of Mumbai has not been planned for.
What does
They
that
have
mean?
not surveyed the slums.
Ooh,
They have not surveyed what is...
that's the heartbeat of Mumbai.
Correct.
How can you not have the slums?
And-
Without slums, how do we walk on human beings to get to our workplace?
and they haven't surveyed what they call the special planning authorities. So in simple language, Nariman Point, Cuff Parade, BKC, Bandra Reclamation, Dharavi.
Wow.
Because they come under some different authority and not the MCGM.
These are huge places.
Yes. So if 60% of the land mass of Greater Mumbai has not been surveyed, so how can this DP hold true for anybody?
Okay, hold your breath. What you're saying right now is that, yes, folks, and I hate to say this, one day Mumbai may become Calcutta. I take that back. I have cousins in
Kolkata.
Kolkata. I told you we have no legal issues here. Amit Doshi himself, our producer, he's huge in the legal world. People touch his feet. Mostly people who are younger than him and are not anything to do with legal people. But let's get back. So in simple terms, what do we do? How do we fight back? We've understood vaguely, I hope, that open spaces will go, buildings will be all over, the ramifications of this development project will hit us for years and generations to come, and we will be in a city, a concrete jungle is like would sound like a compliment right now.
Before we go, let me give you a visual of the concrete
This has never been done on radio before, so please, go ahead. We are breaking in science here. Ladies and gentlemen, please record this forever. Visual, go ahead.
Well, the FSI norms that are proposed would lead to a scenario. Imagine a scenario like this. Most of us know Oval Maidan, 22 acres of Oval Maidan.
That's right.
Well, the FSI proposed would allow as many towers in the Maidan that
Inside.
would have in the Maidan, in that much area, that area of space, that could have as many flats with families of 4.5, which is supposed to be the average norm in them, that if all the people who lived in these towers came down to the ground, they would be 16 lakh people.
In 22
so
acres.
Cyrus, when you go to walk your dogs, you would have to walk over 2 layers of people.
And then my dog will pee on the people. So there's a bright side. There's a bright side. So there's nothing bad here. And let me explain that 4.5 figure. We average 4.5 in urban India, at least in Mumbai. Apparently, 4.5 per family. That's 4.5 children. So if your son is really fat like I am, you know what 1.5 means. It makes perfect sense to say that. 22 acres, 16 lakh people. This is mind-boggling. Even we joke. Yeah. We joke about our country being ridiculous in terms of population, but this is not even funny anymore. So we'll be standing on each other's shoulders. We'll be playing Govinda every day just to get, to your front door and open the door.
And there will be and there is no infrastructure to service these 16 lakh people.
Correct.
Because you don't have water and electricity is now getting...
Yeah, imagine trying to pay your mobile phone bill.
Yeah.
I mean, standing those lines now with 16 lakh people in the one shop that they have at Churchgate, and then one guy who's really not paying attention.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So basically, I just want now, the main point of this whole thing is, how do we arm ourselves? Okay, we've complained, we've cribbed, but is there anything we can do? Because otherwise, we might as well just end this and go to Gurgaon, pick up Punjabi actions, and we'll all be fine.
Well, they've given us 60 days, and 24th of April is the last day. And from now till then, all those who are listening to this broadcast, please send in your object about all these things that we have talked to you about.
But Naina, I want to interrupt you. So 24th April, not 60 days is when we first had a discussion.
Yeah.
We're looking at 24th April, we're just a few days away.
Yes.
One day after Shakespeare's birth and death anniversary, and the same day as Sachin Tendulkar's birthday. Yeah. Very important landmarks. Shakespeare was probably the better cricketer. But the point is, 24th April is just a wink away.
A week away.
Yes.
So this is now an emergency situation and we need numbers. Go on.
We need numbers, so lots and lots of letters to the MCGM.
Mostly love letters. Hi, how are you? What are you wearing? That kind of thing. No. Go on.
To the MCGM is address it to the Municipal Commissioner, MCGM Building, Mahapalika Marg, and just write in your objections at the horrors that the DP has come on us.
Any collective
Try
forum?
and look at your own area. Find out what is in store for your area and object to your area. That's your neighborhood.
Give us an example again. Now, you both are Oval residents. I know we're speaking about that. But quickly, if you had to, in about a minute, sum up your issues living in that neighborhood.
See, Oval is a grade 1 heritage Maidan listed in 1995. They have removed it and called it...
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But that's just hilarious.
They've removed the heritage listing.
Yeah, and they've called it a precinct. Yeah. So in legal terms, it has many connotations because the Oval was protected from all the horrors because it had a grade 1 heritage status. You remove it, that's what happens. Elphinstone College.
And you guys personally removed...
Oval, you've forgotten, Naina, Oval is now slated to have 2 4G towers.
Yes, 4G cell towers in it.
So that's the other war to be fought a little later.
Other war, yes.
But you guys, you ladies rather, you'll have, stood there and fought against the drug peddlers, vagrants, crime, sexual, deviance of sorts.
Yes.
All that was happening there. Plus you fought other institutions trying to take over and privatize it. And you fought successfully. But now comes this terrible blow where this huge cloud that covers us is coming down really hard and it's going to rain soon. Again, anything else we can do on a collective, collectively, is there some forum we can talk on, or, is there any way to do this as a community?
Yes, we can go on to our website, nagar.org.in, or the UDRI website. Both of them have instances of what
Okay, so let's try and push for Nagar website that's easy for them to remember. Guys, please, if you can, when you have the time in between your 2 baths a day and your 4 visits to the toilet, it'll take you 45 seconds to go on the Nagar website. We'll detail it as easily as possible.
Yes.
Follow the instructions, but please, we have no time. Don't shut the radio. Don't listen to us anymore. Go, start work.
And on the Nagar website...
They're not listening. They've started, downloading. Now we need to sing a song. We need to break this up.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Please,
go
on.
So on the Nagar website, we'll give the exact name a little later. I've forgotten it, frankly.
Start doing it right now as we talk.
That right it is there is an automated letter. So if you just fill in your objections and you do submit, and then it comes out as a ready-made letter for you to print out.
Absolutely.
With everything in it. So it's a wonderful way to go.
Because let's face it, we're lazy. I mean, we need to be convenient.
Exactly. This is meant for the lazy person.
Yeah.
This website is meant for the lazy person.
Right.
Nagar.org/DP.
In fact, only aerobic websites are not for lazy persons. By and large, website itself is a lazy person's domain.
Yes.
Again, no pun intended. Guys, here's our website.
Our website is nagar.org.in/DP2034. You can go there for all your suggestion objections.
Naina Meher, thank you for that, because that is the most important part, which is basically getting people to fight back. I know we're joking and pulling legs, although I'm so far away I can't reach your legs.
One more point, we have asked for an extension of time. We are not sure we're going to get it, so plug in now.
It is the Indian way, Naina. Stall them!
Yes.
Stall them! Stall them for 40 years. We'll keep doing it. Over 16 lakh people, 22 acres. And we're looking at only one specific area. My hamstring is paining. Oof.
Yeah.
Imagine Bandra. We haven't talked about the other parts of Mumbai.
Of course.
There's so many areas.
Huge problems. The RML colony, the no development zone areas. All opened up for development.
Our 4 leopards are going to go where? I mean, come on. So let's talk to them now as a collective, even though only 4 people from Mumbai. Actually, the people who tune in are all from Thane, so they don't care. But the point is that we're trying to get people to understand that under all our silly jokes and all this, you're looking at a city that you live in. You want to die in a concrete jungle and not breathe, that's your problem. I mean, what more can we do? These ladies have been nice enough to push, promote, and they will, to their dying breath, fight this behemoth which is trying to kill us all.
Cyrus, we just want everybody to come on board, write in to dump the DP.
Dump the DP. That's the slogan. And let me just quickly say that I know we are a very selfish city at the end of the day. Everybody does their own thing. But the way I look at it is, if you don't stop for 1 minute to try and change things, you're going to. This is it. Start saying bye to everybody.
The future of your children has gone.
Yeah. Can you imagine Liverpool versus Arsenal will only be on that PlayStation? That's it.
Exactly.
You'll never actually go and play or know what games are.
Absolutely.
Naina, when's the last time you played cricket or football?
Long years ago.
Okay, metaphorically or realistic?
Oh my God, this is not that kind of show. Meher, we're vegetarian. At least for the next 4.5 years. Then we'll see what happens at the center. Alright, coming back to Naina and Meher, let's talk 5 minutes now about your personal lives and it'll go away from the DP project. Well, I've got you here, so let's chat.
Okay.
So what else is wrong with our country? Come on, I'll let you rant for a little bit. 2 or 3 things that you want to change. Let's move away from Mumbai and the infrastructure. Anything else?
I'd want to change what seems to be coming in now is quite a worrying phenomena, which is a lot of
foreign
very
cricketers.
Right.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Very, very, very right of centre thinking. Which maybe existed till now, but which didn't have the courage to rear its head, but under the political dispensation seems to have the courage to raise its head.
Yeah, but you're also the daughter of a very famous admiral. Well, let me just put it there. So, I don't know, it's fair enough because, come on, somebody who's fought for the country, done so much, brought laurels, protected us. I mean, you have every right to speak your mind. That's all we've got left now, speaking our minds. And my mind is very small, and there's not much I can say. So we need people like you to speak your mind. Right-wing tendency is scaring all of us. A lot of of people are thinking of that along with this whole meat issues, what to eat, what to think, what to say, freedom of speech. This is terrible. You've grown up a couple of decades before us, if I may say so. Is India going in the wrong direction, Naina? Is India?
It is.
I speak to your cousin about that, and he's 89 years old, and he's the youngest man I know, frankly. And he keeps telling me that every year he feels India is worse than it was the year before, which is a shocking statement to make. And it's beyond cynicism.
At one level it is. At another level I don't agree, because I think technologically we are, far superior now than we were.
Yeah, so we shave in 2 minutes rather than 5, but come on.
No, but I think...
I'm talking women only.
Yeah, but to me, I think the inroads into the cultural and education fields with the right-wing dispensation is going to leave a very big scar on this country.
So shall we start our own political party?
No,
Meher,
and Cyrus,
yes.
Cyrus, the technology is going to allow a 1984 to come very soon.
Ugh.
It is the technology coupled with the ultra-right
Right.
that causes situations like
Okay,
that.
so we're looking at the George Orwell or the Australian massacre of England?
We're
George
looking
Orwell.
at George
Okay, all right.
Orwell,
George
and
Orwell.
I
we're looking
need details.
And
I'm
we're
working
looking
with-
at the Brave New World of Huxley. We're
Oh my
looking
God!
at
All right, so I think I'm in your generation. No one listening has read Huxley. Let me tell you, nobody cares. By the way, in Rajasthan they banned Huxley along with Isaac Newton, Pythagoras, Archimedes. This is not a joke.
There you
Anyone
are.
who's a foreigner. In fact, Tom Alter, who's actually an Indian but of foreign descent, is not allowed to perform there.
Anybody who can tell me that this is what I shall eat and shall not eat, that kind of dispensation is no place in India.
Even in Yerewada jail, they give you 2 options.
Yeah.
Honestly. And they've got more space.
Yeah.
22 acres, talking about 22 acres, less people there. So that's what we're coming to. Jokes apart, it's terrible. But I'm glad you speak your mind, and I'm glad you stand up for some of us, because not too many Mumbaikars. It's very sad, but when I try to talk about this also, our generation, the generation to follow, no one's really interested. They don't really believe in it. They're only worried about what's happening right now. And anything else is just, somewhere in the background. So that is a bit scary.
Well, that's what we are trying to do. We've hit the social media train from Nagar, though we really don't know much about it, only because we feel that we want to reach out to the younger generation.
Yeah, because it's supposedly their concrete jungle.
Their future.
There you go.
It's their
It's their future.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. We'll
Thank
end.
you, Cyrus.
Can we all sing a nice song as we end, because we don't have money to actually get musicians in?
Could you tell us
Surely.
which one?
The song called Hum Honge Kamyab. I wrote it while entering this place. It's loosely based on an English song, but if you can join me. Hum Honge Kamyab, Hum Honge Kamyab. Now listen, if we sing, they will really leave Mumbai. Alright? So stop it. Stop doing this. How can you do this? Don't do this. Ladies, come on. You're classy ladies. I can't believe they're actually singing. I apologize to everybody. No. Thank you so much. Meher, Naina, thank you.
Thank you, Cyrus.
No, the fight has started. It's just begun. Join the war to save the city. And believe me, this is beyond any cultural issue, race issue, communal issue, vote bank issue. This is about saving your city. Live and die in this city. Think about it.
Cyrus says, stop picking your nose, listen to this ad.
Yes, we stop here to talk about the IndianBean.com, which is a premium Indian coffee company, and they have visited all over the country to find the best coffee grown in India. They've done their research. Let me tell you 5 points that I just made up randomly about them. This is not something they've handed to me. They talk about fair trade. They roast fresh beans. They promote Indian coffee. They deal with the farmer himself to get our coffee-loving customers single estate coffee. Very natural. And they have a 10% discount for all purchases at the IndianBean.com with the discount code Cyrus Says. Apparently that's me. So I haven't actually said anything, as you can tell, this entire show. The IndianBean.com, coffee for everyone.
And that's what Cyrus says.
What a lovely break. We exchanged clothes. I'm wearing a grey and white sari. I look elegant. I look like the early Shabana Azmi.
I don't like your shorts, I have to say.
And
They're
you
kind
could
of
be
big on me.
Javed Akhtar, but you'll need to talk like this.
Oh,
Go
I
for
can
it.
do that. I
Can
can
you?
lift. Yeah.
I had an uncle, Jose, who had a lisp. It was
Yeah.
great fun. We used to only ask him questions and he never got it. We just kept talking to him because he had a lisp. How mean are kids? No other uncle was spoken to. All the other uncles, perfect English, diction, Gujarati, whatever you want. But this guy, Jose uncle, what's it outside? And then he would answer, yes, what's it outside? And he never got it. Amazing. What a lovely man. Let's get back to more important topics.
Sure. So you think you're the more important?
No. I don't, but I want to, whatever criticism we get, I want to take it heads on. It's like my first
All
marriage.
your heads.
By the way, it's still the first marriage. I don't have the guts for a second marriage, or a lawyer, or the money, or the place to stay, or a bike without a helmet. And you were saying.
So we did an AMA with Cyrus a couple of episodes ago.
With Cyrus, I'm in here. Who are you
I'm talking to our listeners.
Because there are many Cyruses. Every third Parsi is Cyrus. And now every fourth Christian as well. Soon everybody in the country will be called Cyrus.
Okay, I'm going to ignore the listeners. Sorry.
Okay, Cyrus, go ahead.
So Cyrus.
Cyrus?
Are you listening?
I'm listening.
We did an AMA with you 2 episodes ago. Do
Much
you remember?
Better. See how difficult was that? Just say you.
Okay.
We're in the same studio, 4 feet apart. This is Mumbai. We can't even be 5 feet apart. If we went separate studios, we'd be 5 feet apart.
Give me back my sari. I don't
I'm
like
sorry.
you in it.
I can't. I'm wearing no underwear. You know what happens to our country when there's no underwear?
What?
Processions.
What?
Bathrooms everywhere. What a culture. Just go ahead and pee. That's what I think it's all about. Just India is, what is India? The first rule is go ahead and pee. Enter India now. Take a right, go ahead and pee. Take a left, go ahead and pee. Sorry, let's get back to the questions.
All right. So there were some people who did not get included in last time's AMA and they were kind of sad about it.
We have a caste system. No, we don't. I'm just saying. If we did, then that's why. But we didn't. We don't. Go on.
So we have a couple more questions from our listeners.
Yes.
And our executive producer, Amit Doshi, was kind enough to buy us some time to actually address these questions.
So we can find an answer.
Yes.
He's really sweet.
Although you don't know the questions yet. So
yeah, no, I don't. But I'm a man in a sari answering questions. Isn't that bad enough anyway? Go on.
All right. So here's one. Cyrus, I tried reading all your books, but couldn't complete even one because they were boring. They were so boring. What
my
to
books,
do?
The intention by the publishers, Random House, was always not to read them, not to have them read. The idea was to use them as weapons. You see, we live in a country with too many people. If my books are small, you can hold them in your right wrist if you're right-hander, and you can smack people on the head to get them to clear the way.
Motorcyclists?
Motorcyclists. My book is for the anti-motorcycle wave. So let me just tell you, you've done the right thing. Don't bother reading them. For me personally, page 15 was as much as I could do from a writing point of view. After that, I just kept copying 1 to 15. 15 to 30 is 1 to 15, then 30 to 45 is 1 to 15. It goes on like that. But writing books is great fun because basically you do what you want, nobody reads it, nobody says anything, and then you can show your mother that you've written a book. So for me, that was the whole experience. By the way, I colored my own books.
You did?
Yeah, I did color my own books.
Because adults should do this. What is your book called?
There's 3 books.
No
I
way.
can't remember all of them. One is Kaal, Aaj aur Kal, which is about this guy called Kaal, loosely based on myself, whose sidekick is my friend Kunal, loosely based on him. I mean, it look exactly the same in my mind. The next book was The Average Indian Male, where I ranted about a lot of things, but nobody seems to care. And I got a hamstring pull. Oops. Ow. Ah.
Wow, this actually happened?
Will you talk for a minute?
Sure.
The blood is
While you're
rushing.
writhing in pain?
But I will survive. I will survive. Everything will be okay.
He
Once the
actually
blood
looks like
rushes
he's in
back.
pain.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
goodness.
Keep going, Chhavi.
Okay.
We're under pressure
you
here.
want some ice or something?
No, but who'll apply it?
Not
It's on my
me.
inner thigh. Yeah, there you go.
no. You can
There
apply
you
it.
go. Absolutely.
You
It'll
don't
cure
want to-
itself. There's not a doctor
Okay.
available who can help us now.
All
Back
right.
to the book. So, and the third one?
Yeah.
The third one was called Netagiri, where I created a new country, which apparently is what India is doing as well, as we speak. So, yeah. But I don't blame him for not reading it. I don't take it personally at all.
When do you find the time to write books?
What do you think I do? I've got hamstring pain all the time. All I do is hold my thigh and write. Well, not with my thigh, obviously. And here's a deal for people who have hamstring issues. When you're lifting weights, drink a lot of water.
Okay.
Not while you're doing it, but after.
Would you like some water now?
I would, but in a minute, because this is going to stay for a little while.
Is it like a Charlie horse? Like, does it...
It's like hemorrhoids with a longer area is being hurt. It's a bit like that.
I cannot
I can
relate.
tell from your face you don't relate to any of this.
No.
Have you ever done a Romanian deadlift? Where you pick a bar from the bottom of the ground with your knees straight and pull it up all the way to your waist and all the way down. Do it many times. How stupid is that?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Romanians, not me. Romanian deadlift. You got to be Romanian, otherwise you don't get it. Indian deadlift is very different. Find an old relative and carry him home. The Indian deadlift. All right, I'm feeling better. My thigh is back in action.
Shall we go back to some serious
Yeah.
questions? So
Yes,
here's
let's
one.
go
It's
back.
actually a CYRIOUS question.
What
How
the hell is
cute
that,
is
man?
that? It's a serious question.
Oh God, this visual humor thing I've never got, except bald women with eyebrows that join. I enjoy that for some reason. I really laugh. My dad is really funny that way, you know. He's a very intelligent, very well-read man, you know. He can quote the philosophers and, you know, all that. But if you have two men bumping their heads against each other, he goes berserk. He just falls down laughing. I'm like, Dad, but that's not funny. That's just stupid. But, you know, so get him the Three Stooges and oh, get him the picture Masti where they bang into each other all the time for no reason whatsoever. And he's just all over the place.
That's cute.
What a paradox. Go on.
So here's
You
your
won't say
question.
cute if you saw him in a lungi and a sadra with holes in it. Trust me. Go on. A sadra is what Parsi men wear. It's that malmal-like cloth.
Ah.
Yeah.
For some
And
reason I was-
lungi is what South India is famous for.
Right.
And if you tie it the way the Parsis do, which is like a towel, it all opens up when you sit. So at 82, not very interesting for people working on their hands and knees, which we allow in our urban civilization. We pay them money and their hands and knees cleaning. Relatives. My cousins who don't have money from Gujarat. Yes. Please go on with the question.
Are you distracting me?
I am.
All right.
By clutching my thigh. Which I really am doing. Go on.
Big fat head on TV, professional advantage or disadvantage for science,
Well, I study this market completely, and fat heads apparently hosts which do better or longer lasting or have a bigger impact and make more money. And they've given a list of fat heads from Boris Yeltsin, one of the greatest TV hosts ever, who drank himself silly during the nuclear war days and kept the button right next to him, and he would play this game, red or green, I'm too drunk. Yes, now you Paruski, dong, and boom, Ukraine's gone, something like that. But we study this market and we've come to the conclusion that the fatter your face is, the rounder, larger looking fellows seem to do better. So it's actually a scientific question based on some sort of research. Can you believe it? Wow. You tell me, because you're a person who watches television shows and all. But they say that the bigger fellows, they seem to have this problem. What do you think?
You mean the fat heads?
The fat heads. I was trying not to use that word because in India it sounds bad. In America it sounds like you're really, powerful. Oh, I'm a fat head, I'm doing so well, I got my own show, that kind of thing. But here it just doesn't work. But apparently, look at Sajid Khan, for example, very successful TV host, largish face. Myself, not successful, but still part of the largish face. And there are many, Kunal, my other pal, Arnab Goswami, largish face. Those thin aquiline features, the Hrithik Roshans of the world, they struggle.
Because,
You have no answer.
No, because the TV adds 10 pounds is what they say. So if you had a thin face, you'd actually look fatter anyway.
That's true. For us, there's no hope. No matter how thin we were, we'd be fat. It's so sad. It is true. It's about 15 pounds actually, when I think about it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it is a professional advantage.
Ladies always tell me you look so lovely in real life, especially when they see me on radio. But I've always answered in only one way. The TV really makes us look bad. The only people who look good are refugees, people from, in civil wars. In their country, you can see them. They look lovely. They look gaunt and all that because they're starving. And starving makes them look good because those 15 pounds makes them look like models. So that works really well. I remember I met Milind Soman for the first time in real life. I thought he was a refugee. I gave him food. I clothed him. I hugged him. And I took him home. And then I bathed him twice, after which he left. But my point is that these people are very strange. And we see them, people on TV don't look the same as when they're in real life. This is true. I get comments all the time saying, you don't look that large. Oh, that's when I'm naked. You don't look that fat. That's when I've got clothes on. And I'm bored of answering this. I don't know what to say. But the last word is from you. Fat heads, do we do better on television?
Professionally, I'm sure they do. Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
And to all those judges on reality shows, see, it doesn't matter how fat you are.
Gain some weight, actually, right? So, next question is, Cyrus Bro Acha, the fact that some politicians think you are Cyrus Bro Bura goes to highlight how big the ego is of our politicians. Can you name any politician with a sense of humor in India?
In a word, actually, Mr. Chidambaram, who was at that point a finance minister, actually met us at the Taj during some function, and I got very scared because, we make fun of them on TV and all that, and I tried to hide, and I remember my good pal Rahul Bose was trying to talk to him, and Rahul has this lovely way of introducing himself as I'm Rahul Bose, so you'll probably know who I am, and I may not know who you are, which is a nice technique also. And he did his thing, and then Mr. Chidambaram just sort of brushed him aside and said, Cyrus, come here, by name, first name. Imagine, it's like, Elvis calling you, but in another, in Chennai. And so he shouted at me, and I went with my tail between my legs, or whatever, something between my legs, and I said, yes. I even called him sir out of fear. And he said, I love your show. Tell that Sardesai fellow that you should replace him. And he thought it was quite funny. And little bit did he know that that's what happened 6 months later.
That's awesome.
That's because of the politics in the television. But yeah, so I was quite stunned. So there are a few, and we met a few. A couple Sibyls said something nice, mostly from the Congress, it looks like. Apparently Rahul Gandhi has watched our show a couple of times. I know that when I used to do a show called Bakra, Bal Thackeray used to watch the show. At 3:30, he'd stop everything to watch it.
No way.
Yeah, yes way. So I could have been by now a Shaka Pramukh at least, but that didn't work out. So there.
Saffron sari.
I would say that across India, all the industries, including politicians, medicine, whatever, there's the same amount of people who are nuts and crazy, and enough people who are quite liberal actually and enjoy sense of humor and all that. But having said that, there's plenty to worry about. So if you want to be a comedian, go to Nepal and then broadcast from there. If you have the money, go to Switzerland, even safer, because nobody's brought back the money from Switzerland yet. They promise. Where's the money? Where's the money? I'm waiting. Yeah. We'll bring all the money back. You'll bring the money back. Switzerland will shut down before they bring the money back. Go on.
Okay, last question. Follow-up question to the politician with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
This person says, in the other category, that is, among people with a heart and a conscience, who is the funniest person you've hung out with?
Well, I never met the chief ministers of various states, so I can't be open about everybody. But people with conscience normally are very painful. Let me tell you, because they feel bad immediately, and they're part of the problem we have in comedy. You have to leave your conscience at home. This whole thing about the clown being this, a wonderfully, romantic person who feels for the whole world, and the Mother Teresa, I mean, she wasn't funny. I mean, I've met her a couple of times, and lovely lady, but not a joke. No, 3 men went to a bar, one was Polish, one was Czech, one was Indian, no, nothing like that. Just, let's face it. So I think this is this myth. People think that all clowns are actually sad, all funny people are actually sad. That's all stereotypes which don't really exist. There are a few, but mostly because they're married. So it's more about the marriage than the clown. Also, in this case, this conscience thing, this correlation, I don't get it. I think just leave it aside and just sort of do your thing and don't take it too seriously. That's what it's all about.
Wait, so are you saying if you have a conscience, you can't be funny, or what?
No, you can be.
Saying?
Who cares? My point is, don't take yourself so seriously. They take themselves so seriously. There was pathos in his humor. He exposed something. John Lennon spoke about it all the time. He wrote lovely songs, and then someone will find more profundity than there was. Like in Imagine, and he says, no, don't read too much into it. One song he wrote on a paper bag. I want to hold your hand. It's simply that. It's lovely. I love the Beatles. I can quote from them all day, but nobody wants to listen to me because they think they're insects, and they're not insects. They're more than insects. There are only 2 left. Which are the 2 dead Beatles? Your time starts now.
George Harrison and John Lennon.
I respect you. I will lick your feet in public.
No.
Okay, I take that back. I'll just touch your feet. Because culturally, that's a wrong thing to do. I won't lick. I'll lick before, and then I'll lick my own feet. Oh, I can't reach my feet. Look at my hamstring. I can't even reach my knee. Oh, soon I won't be able to reach my neck. It's that bad. Yeah. So, last word on the conscience thing. I'm not against people who have the ability, a Jonathan Swift or a Premchand or whatever. You can satirize something and you can make your point and show your huge love for humanity and compassion. But most of the time, a joke is just a joke, and leave the conscience at home. That's what I say.
All right, great. But who is the funniest person you hung out with?
Oh, it's very difficult. I had a driver once called Kamlesh who was really funny because he's hilarious. Because you tell him, "Yeah, Prabhadevi janta hai?" "Haan, janta." Okay, and then you pass Prabhadevi and you say, "But wo Prabhadevi tha." "Malum hai." I found him hilarious. I spent so many days pulling my hair. Whatever is gone is because of Kamlesh. So you meet so many interesting people. My wife is quite funny in that way because she never laughs. I think about her. I remember our early days of our marriage. I grew up in my lovely house where basically my sister left at 16, so I had a room to myself. And as all men, I would take off my clothes and throw them everywhere, sock here, underwear there. And then my wife entered the room and everything changed in the sense that, she found a sock, no sex for 2 weeks. She found a AC on, no sex for 4 weeks. She'd find a towel on the bed, no sex for 3 months. I'm not eligible for sex till 2061, but then the DP will be implemented, there'll be no city left. So I'm just telling you, people are funny. You got to see it from the right perspective, that's all. My father, he's a very erudite man, but wears this ridiculous lungi up to his knees. He looks like one of those, legionnaires from an Asterix comic who didn't get good clothing. Got a poor designer from a village. And not Manish Malhotra. So these things happen. So lots of funny people around. Kunal Vijayekar, my closest companion, is hilarious. He has not one funny bone in his body, but if you look at him from perspective, hilarious. Makes the most ridiculous statements I've ever heard in my life. I can't believe such a man exists. And his entire mantra for living is how to make his own life better and comfort. Level of comfort is what he lives for. It's just wonderful. He called me one day, just 4 days after 26/11, when the whole world is shattered and we're all feeling worried and the common humanity is seeping through all our pores and we feel for each other. And he says, "Brocha, I want to tell you one thing. I live alone. So I've decided I'm going to have all my lunch in bed." I was like, why would we even have this conversation? But he lives in his own world. And that's the way, that's the funny part of life. There are people like this. It's just beautiful. There was no malice intended. It's not like he hates people. But he came to the right conclusion. I live alone. I don't keep staff. So why don't I just eat lunch in the room? Why do I have to go to the hall? Why have those 7 more feet? For no reason. Plus 7 more back. That's 14. So therein lies the question, and herewith endeth the lesson.
Excellent.
Now I need someone to rub my thigh. Suresh.
Shouldn't it be Ganpat?
I tried Ganpat. He's left-handed. All right, now I've got to run because I've got this problem in my thigh. As you can see, I'm not lying.
Yeah,
so I'm taking off the sari and I'm rushing. I'm going to have some blood pushed into my thigh. And I have to warn you again, if you're going to lift weights, drink water in this weather because it's really, really hot. And the reason why this happened is because I'm sweating in the studio. Where's our producer, Amit Doshi? How much money is he going to save?
He's sitting in the air conditioning.
Yeah, look at him. He's eating is that beef? Hello, Amit. What the heck? It was beetroot. Okay, I'll let you go this time.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
All views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of the IndusVox Media Network or any of our show advertisers or sponsors. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast, obviously.